How's it going, everyone? It is I, PC, giving you the first installment of the Crow's Nest Gaming Podcast. Joined here with my co host. Please introduce yourself, good sir.
Hey, so I'm Win. I'm a gamer, and I'm joining you guys on this podcast. So nice to meet you,
Yeah, I
everyone.
decided to call it Crow's Nest Gaming Podcast because, sort of follow the pirate theme that I got going on here, which was unintentional. I just thought Pirate Canvas sounded like a cool name. I mean, I'm not really a pirate. I mean, that's why I use the
Yeah,
initials PC. But
PC.
yeah, PC. Yeah. We're not going to be political based, but if there is any subject matters that pertains to politics, we'll try to
Yeah,
be careful, you know, talking that about that because I want this to mainly be about gaming. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about here because tomorrow we have the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus, or
yep.
Pokemon Breath of the Wild, people call it. But
Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
and we're gonna be talking about Dying Light 2, and yeah, we'll dabble into some other things like retro games as well as modern games that we've been playing.
Yep.
You never know, but I want to make sure that you all know that if this podcast does become successful, then this will be a weekly thing.
Yep.
So please be sure to show your support to, me and Win, and, give us some love. Share this around. Like it, because I like to talk and discuss things with people, and, I want to turn this into a cool thing. But, anyways, let's get into the discussion here. Let's talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Which when I heard the announcement for it, I was already like, yeah, I'm buying this.
Yeah.
Because I already got Pokemon Shining Pearl, and I love Gen 4. I love my Gen 4, but
Diamond's a classic.
but I'm not really so sure at first I was like, okay, so they're calling it Legends Arceus, so I'm assuming that there's gonna be more, and that this is going to be a spin-off, like another series, because there's going to be other legendary Pokemon that they're probably going to name it after. But what do you think of it, Win?
Honestly, I've seen a lot of spin-off games throughout my time as a gamer, so I probably have the most amount of experience with these types of side games. But honestly, I think I might give it actual shot
Yeah, I mean,
because it's honestly it's worth it.
oh yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, and I'm hoping that this game just turns out to be a huge success for Nintendo and Pokemon team, and hopefully we get more games like this. I mean, I love the environments and I love the whole concept. I mean, I looked at some of the gameplay, and according like it's supposed to be like more of a free roaming game. Like it's more like keen to the Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. Where you
Or Xenoblade.
or Xenoblade Chronicles,
Yeah,
and
I love Xenoblade.
you know
Great series.
I've always wanted an open world Pokemon game. Like you could go anywhere you want. Instead of having to, like in most Pokemon games, you go from point A to point B, go to different gyms. And like
Talking all the
it's all
Pokemon,
linear. It's all linear.
doing all sorts of stuff in that game. Honestly,
But I mean,
especially with Arceus in particular, I think the best thing that I'm really excited for is some of the other mechanics in Pokemon that never really get to be talked about. Obviously we have your starter. Obviously you get to pick your starter. Obviously you can pick Oshawott, Cyndaquil, or Rowlet, which I'll be picking Rowlet in this, obviously. But you can catch your Pokemon without having to use your Pokemon for a battle. Obviously you can just capture Pokemon while you're hiding in a grass, or you can use other hiding strategies in order to manipulate or
yeah,
control some
And use
situations.
bait and stuff like that to lure Pokemon. You know, like I mean, I think it like some of the mechanics that are in this. I mean, it seems like they're trying to break out some new ideas for the franchise instead of going with the same thing again and again. And I mean, I like it just for the sheer fact that it's different. I'm.
And I think they're a
Mhm.
little bit listening to the fans as well in terms of Pokemon in general, because the Pokemon fan base, not really the best fan base, but they are taking their time to actually listen to the fan base and actually looking at see what worked and didn't work, and then actually making a game to fit our desires or what else games that we want to play, obviously. And I haven't touched a Pokemon game ever since Sun. So this is gonna be a really new experience for me playing Arceus because I've already played Diamond and Pearl, I've already played Sun and Moon, I've already played Black and White, so it's kind of a big leap.
So who are you
So
gonna go with as your starter?
Rowlet, the
Rowlet.
owl. Yes, the owl.
And
Yes.
why is
I
that?
love Decidueye. Yep. I love Decidueye. Decidueye is a great Pokemon. I love Decidueye.
I'm probably gonna go with Cyndaquil. And,
Yeah,
and, and by the
Cyndaquil.
way, there's gonna be multi gens in this. You know,
Multi-gens, yep.
even though it's called Arceus and it's supposed to take place. I think they said in terms of story, it takes place years before the events of Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I think several years actually.
Yeah, 100 years or something
Yeah,
like that.
100 year jump at least.
Yeah,
Well,
and
there could be a lot of storytelling with a lot of the Shinon region, obviously.
hopefully they go
So,
more into depth about the religion of Arceus, which
oh
Arceus is
yeah,
the god of all Pokemon. Like, hopefully they get more into that. I mean, I already have mine pre-ordered for tomorrow, and I hope I get it tomorrow. If not, then I have to wait.
I'll I'll be picking up the game in store actually because they will be releasing copies in store. When a game is being pre-ordered hundreds of thousands of times, there's going to be a crap ton of copies for people to walk in and pick up a
Oh
game,
yeah,
obviously. So
oh yeah. There's no
so
doubt
I'll have the
this is gonna sell millions.
this is going to sell millions. So I'm probably going to be buying myself a copy as well. So it's really going to be something.
Because
But
I mean, it's Pokemon.
it's Pokemon. What do you expect? It's there's nothing really wrong with that in
But I
particular, and
was
it's also
hoping, they would sort of take some elements from other Pokemon games that they have made before, like Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness.
oh oh yeah, and in Battle Stadium for the Wii.
Even
I
though I
never,
consider them to be flawed games, I mean I still enjoy those.
yeah, those games are pretty alright. Those are pretty fun.
But I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to Pokemon Legends Arceus. It comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to stream it. If not, then I'll have to wait.
Then you'll have to wait and you'll have to see.
Yeah.
So
So, next on the chopping block is Dying Light 2. Now, I haven't played the first game. Uh,
I have played the first game, and I love Dying Light 1 in particular because the best thing about Dying Light as a series is the community base of Dying Light in particular. The company that makes Dying Light, obviously, Techland, has very much listened to the community's response to Dying Light 2. As of now, several other YouTubers and content creators have gotten 6 review copies. As far as I know, there have been confirmed 2 YouTubers. It's on Twitter. You can probably search it up. The Rad Brad and Oni Zombie. And these 2 particular content creators have already gotten the review copy several days ago, and they're planning on making a lot of content base for Dying Light 2 in the future. So this is something that Techland has already discussed already with people already. No spoilers, obviously. But if you search up the Rad Bread or Oni Zombie, they have already played through one of the side missions, and obviously, Dying Light 2 is a big game. They've made hundreds of hours of content for this game in particular, and the best thing about it is that your choices do impact the story as well as the side missions. So whenever you play and you pick a side, there's going to be benefits and disadvantages to each side. So, say for example, I play through Dying Light 2 and I go with the Peacekeepers. The Peacekeepers use a lot of technology base and they have a lot of guardship. So, if I pick them, They give me extra technology, extra weapons, extra gear, that type of stuff. But the survivors give me trash bags so I can jump from higher buildings to the ground and not hurt myself, or zip lines for me to travel from point A to point B without having to climb my way to point A to point B, obviously. So these types of benefits are really, really important to the story of Dying Light 2 because whenever you pick a side, there's going to be a riptide effect. There's going to be a butterfly effect. And with decision-making games in particular that force you to pick a decision on what type of side you want to pick on, that's what I love the best about these types of games. That's what gives like me and a few other people that type of enjoyment because you can play
Yeah.
up to 4 players and that shit gets crazy.
And that adds more to the survival aspect of it. You know what I mean?
And
It adds more to the survival aspect of the game, like not just in terms of story, like it's a unique gameplay feature, where you basically choose your own path.
yeah, pretty much. It's not like Fire Emblem where there's specific routes that you can take in order to get that particular ending, for example. In Fire Emblem Three Houses, by the way, you can pick. There's 3 houses, but you can pick different sides. So if you say, for example, you pick Black Eagles, there are 2 particular ending routes that you can go with. There's obviously Edelgar's route, which is I don't remember the ending's name, but you can pick her route and you go against the Church of Saros, or you can choose the Church of Saros side, which again, it's just you against everyone else, really. But in Dying Light 2, you can literally pick up to 3 factions, and you can literally choose whatever side you feel like benefits you, because technically, you're an outsider. Your character, Aiden Caldwell, he's a pilgrim, and he's literally coming into the city to do whatever he wants and to find his sister. So, it's not necessarily, oh, you're the main character, and you're supposed to choose which side you want to feel like you want to choose. It's like, you're an outsider, and you just do whatever you want. That's literally the gist of it, really. And they changed a lot of the stuff from the floaty parkour and some of the bugs of Dying Light 2, because when some of the content creators ended up reviewing the game a couple months back, Techland decided to delay the game by 2 months so they can fix the game and change the game so everyone else can have a fun experience with Dying Light 2, which I think is phenomenal, because a lot of these companies, they rush out games like left and right, and they don't even have the chance to fix bugs. And then when they come out, it's like a buggy-ass mess.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And Rainbow Six Extraction's another good one where they just release a game and they don't even it's not even a complete game. It's like this half patch of a game with different operators that you can choose from.
This game's been in development for like 4 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. Extraction's been in development for 4 years. Dying Light 2, however, has been in development for 10 years.
Damn.
So they put a lot of their hard work and effort into Dying Light 2 just so us fans can enjoy the game. I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering this game, and I'm definitely going to be buying the deluxe edition for this game.
Damn.
Because if you buy the deluxe edition, you get all the DLC with it. So it's $80, so that's a steal right there for me.
Yeah, and sadly I don't make that much. But I need to actually.
I could finally buy it.
I need to actually play the first one before I actually discuss Dying Light 2, because I always try to play the first game to kind of get a foundation of.
You don't have to play the first game in order to play the second game. There are some references from the first game in Dying Light 2, but it's like 10, 15 years after the events of Dying Light 1. But there's not really that many references in Dying Light 2 except for one reference.
And it's supposed to be a sequel, right?
Mm-hmm. It kind of is. It kind of isn't. It's kind of in the middle, but I'm really excited for this game.
Oh yeah. So when does it come out?
February 4th.
Okay, February the 4th. I might actually pick it up then.
And the best thing is, if you are buying the digital edition, so pretty much there are release times. They did announce the release times like a few hours ago. So this came out like just recently. So if you are living in Tokyo, Friday, February 4th at 9 a.m. GST time. So In Chicago, Thursday, February 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So this is the afternoon of February the 3rd, obviously.
Right.
New York, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, we all live in time zones. That's all you
So
need to know.
yeah, that's all you really need
Oh
to really know.
gosh, I
And if you live in the PST era, 4 p.m. So this is so for people that are living in the United States, be on the lookout on February 3rd instead of
yeah.
February 4th. So internationally, February 4th. So
Internationally, yeah,
yep.
it's crazy with all these time zones and everything. Like to keep track of everything takes a lot of work. Too much work for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's really the only. Oh, Splatoon 3 is supposed to come
Oh
out
yeah.
sometime this year. I don't know when exactly, but we'll probably discuss more about Splatoon 3. Uh, Probably when it gets closer to time, because right now we don't know when exactly it's coming out. We know it's
We
coming
don't
out.
have a
Yeah,
we don't have a release date, but we do know that it's coming out this year. So
that and
the best
Bayonetta
way,
3.
the best Bayonetta 3, yeah, Bayonetta 3. They Bayonetta 3, yeah. That I'm really excited for. Um Obviously we should probably wait for obviously E3. We should probably wait for that. Obviously, that's probably
Yeah,
going to be a big hot spot for a lot of the other newer games that are coming out. Obviously, but we also need to realize that some developers tend to release their games at random points of time. For example, so say for example, a great example of that would be Doki Doki Literature Club. They just released it at like they released it in the dead smack area of June. So
yeah,
so we should probably wait and see what happens from here and there and see what's going to happen obviously, but I do know for a fact that that with some games in particular they tend to release them out like dead smack in the middle of the month
right.
or halfway through the month. So
But this brings us to our next. Speaking of releases, this brings us to our next topic that I've really wanted to talk about. Yet I just haven't had the chance to talk about it. Like I was gonna make an actual video about it, but I figured this might be the best way to, let out all my frustration because Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch.
oh
It's already
boy.
been announced. It's supposed to come out sometime in March, I believe.
Yep. March.
Sometime in March, and gosh, I'm I'm
Don't even know where to
I
start
don't know
here.
where to start with this. So it's gonna be digital only, but
Yep.
here's another kicker. A kick to the balls, I should say. It's gonna be cloud. All cloud
Yeah,
base.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
Oh my god.
Digital based
Ah.
games. God, I love digital based games when they take
And
half
yet
your
and
storage.
that's not the only worst thing about it though. Not only do you not own the game physically or digitally, it's you have to be online at all times.
Only. Yeah,
Online
and
at
you have
all
to pay for the
times.
sucker.
But that's not the thing though. Like I wouldn't mind paying for it if it wasn't so fucking overpriced.
Oh yeah, the
80 fucking
pricing. Oh my
dollars?
god.
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah.
me? I mean, yeah, you could buy them separately, like the collection separately, but why the fuck do that when you could just buy the all-in-one for like $30 on Amazon right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah, like you could get physical. Not only are they physical, but you could get it for the Xbox One and PS4, and it'll work on PS5 as well.
And it yeah, and it'll work on PS5. And there's also the biggest thing when it comes to cloud games and digital based games. I'm not a big fan of digital games. I love
Yeah,
physical. The only time where I would buy a digital based copy is DLC, Steam, Ubisoft, or the PlayStation Store or Xbox
and the
Store.
thing though is, at least with digital, you actually own it.
You actually own the game, like in your Steam library or in your Ubisoft library, for example. Like the best thing about Steam is that you could just buy a game for really cheap when it goes on sale, and you get more bang for your money than Kingdom Hearts will ever do. Like, case in point, a really great game that you should spend your money on in particular is a video game that I really like that has brought me back to fighting games in general. Under Night in Birth, one of the best fighting games out of almost any arc system, besides Guilty Gear Strive, obviously, and some of the and Blaze Blue, but Under Night in Birth is such a fantastic fucking game that they've made a multiple versions of this game. But the thing is that it's super cheap. The base game for the newest Under Night in Birth, $25 for Steam. But if you buy like the booster pack, the new release of the game, it's $40. Not even a dent in my wallet, and I get more bang for my buck. And here's the thing, spending $40 for a deluxe edition, by the way, that's really cheap.
Yeah, because most games on PC are cheaper.
No, I meant like physical copy
Oh,
for
physical. Yeah.
a Switch game.
Yeah.
Like physical copy.
Yeah, physical copy.
And on
Yeah.
Steam right now, it's on sale. Right now, currently, for $13 for the entire pack.
I mean, Steam always has good deals. I mean, that's the thing with Steam. They've always had great deals.
They've always have great deals. And I love Under Night.
What sucks, though, is that it screws fans over that actually wanted to get their hands on this game for the Switch and be able to take it with them everywhere they can go. You know, but now that's impossible. I mean, if you're on an airplane, how are you going to play Kingdom Hearts with no internet? I mean, most airplanes, they do have Wi-Fi, but
you have to pay for that sucker. And plus, considering the fact that depending on how much time you spend on that internet, it adds more to your trip.
Yeah.
And plus, say for example, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere and you want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. No chance.
No. Or if you're traveling, even if you're traveling on the road and your car has Wi-Fi or something, which you pay for that as well. I mean, it's like, why? Why when I could just, probably bring my, I could probably bring my PS4 with me on my trip and wait till I get to a hotel room and play it.
And just play it.
Yeah,
or
with a
you could do what I did and rehook the back seat of my car into an actual gaming setup.
Yeah. You could do that. It'd be a lot better than wasting your time and money, getting the Switch version, which and not only that, that's not the only issue with cloud gaming. Like you remember the Stadia, right? Which I made videos about the Stadia on another channel. But, they tried to do the whole cloud gaming sort of thing, and it failed on them. And that's mainly because of, number one, too expensive, because not only do you have to pay your internet bill, you also have to pay for the service that you're using.
Yeah.
And you have to buy each game that you play. And no, you don't own it. The company owns it. It's running through. It's not running through your, like, let's say you have Stadia on your computer. It's not running through your computer. It's running through cloud, through their system. So it's almost like you're not even playing the game at all.
Yep.
And that's not the worst thing about cloud gaming, is the fact that everybody doesn't have good internet. Not everybody has good internet. I do have good internet, and that's because I have fiber optic. But not everyone has it.
I don't have good internet.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
what's going to happen is, your game's going to keep shutting off.
Fighting game netcode is worse than icon storage. And we all know how terrible fighting game netcode is for Arceus. Terrible. Very terrible. Like, hell, you could spend less money on the deals right now for cheap gaming than buying Kingdom Hearts 3 for the Switch. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah.
Like Persona 5 Royal, $20. Metal Gear Solid Vengeance, not even $10. It's $8. Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition on Steam, that's $8.
Yeah.
Like straight up, you're gonna get more bang for your buck if you buy it somewhere else than this piece of trash. Honestly, not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and that's the problem with cloud gaming. It's not ready. Like, nobody has good enough internet to be able, well, not everyone, I should say. Not everyone has good internet
Good
to
internet.
be able to play cloud game like I like Game Pass. Like Xbox Game Pass, I do really
Xbox Game
like.
Pass.
I
Yep.
really do like it. And that's because you get a bunch of games even though you don't necessarily own it. It's $10. I mean, $10 a month to play
It's
most
like
of these
old school.
games.
It's like old school Netflix.
Yeah, it's like old
Literally
school
old school
Netflix.
Netflix for gaming.
Yeah, and even though I don't own it, I mean, some of these games I really don't want to own. I'd rather just be able to play them.
And the worst part is that
But yeah, that's a better
so
service than what Square's doing with Kingdom Hearts.
the worst thing is that Techland had the idea to use cloud to bring Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2 to the Switch with their with their cloud storage. But the moment they realized that they messed up, they literally scrapped the idea for Dying Light 2 to come on Switch and they delayed it.
Mm-hmm.
They scrapped that idea. And so I'm hoping that they get an actual cartridge for Dying Light 2 because Dying Light 2 is a big
Cartridge.
ass game and I don't think that the cloud storage will handle the graphical input of Dying Light 2 in particular, so it's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
I mean, I wish that we had more physical releases of games. Like
And oh yeah, we will.
I mean, I
We will.
I, I wish that they would just like for games that have DLC, they just instead of having it like all digital, actually come out like with a game of the year sort of thing, like where it has all the DLC, like the Fallout games.
Yeah, Fallout games and case in point another really good if you were to buy Under Night the deluxe edition, obviously it gives you all the DLC for free also. So it's something.
I
That
want
comes in a physical
I
game.
want there to be a complete Dead Cells like whenever they're done with DLC. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, that's an issue I had with Scarlet Nexus. I literally made a video just recently about Scarlet Nexus DLC in particular, which I made a video about that recently, and I was so frustrated that the whole season pass of Scarlet Nexus it literally messes people up who own the deluxe edition,
I
and
actually have Scarlet Nexus on my Xbox One through Game Pass.
it
I haven't played it
it
yet.
fucking sucks that case in point the deluxe people who want to get the DLC get fucking bent
Hmm.
because they can't get the season pass because they've already spent like $80 on the deluxe edition.
So wait,
And so like
the deluxe edition ain't season pass?
no, it's not season pass. You have to buy the ultimate edition for Scarlet Nexus in order to get all that
Oh my
DLC or
god.
buying them individually.
That's
And the worst part
stupid.
is one of the DLC packs isn't even a part of the season pass. The third DLC pass is not even a part of that. And it's $20. And if you buy the DLC pack individually, it's cheaper.
Yeah. It's kind of like with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now they're coming out with the DLCs for the game. Yet I bought like the digital version, like the digital deluxe, like whatever they had for it. And it doesn't come with DLC. I have to buy
That fucking
that.
sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I get some things for free, like some of the costumes and stuff. But
And I'm happy that
yeah.
Techland is not actually doing what some other companies are doing with their DLC and actually putting the DLC alongside the deluxe edition, which is why I'm going to be buying the deluxe edition. So I'll be buying the deluxe edition because it comes with all the DLC for free.
The thing though with Nintendo though, when they release DLCs, like they wait long periods of time before they say, oh, we're coming out with a DLC for this game. Like after you just spent $60.
Yeah, honestly.
And then they charge you like $24 for the, expansion or whatever.
Expansion, and plus we don't forget if you want to play online, you have to pay for that as well,
Yeah. That's about a
which is
hundred
why
dollars. That's about $100.
yeah, I gain more bang for my. I can get. This is why I prefer Steam, obviously, over like other other gaming networks in particular, because at least with Steam, I can actually play like online instead of having to pay another extra like $7 or $20 a month just for Nintendo Online.
Yeah. And their online service ain't even worth it.
It's not even worth it, honestly. Like I would rather buy the Steam edition of those games and playing them on there.
Yeah, look at what they give you like on Steam and then look at what Nintendo gives you. Like Nintendo gives you old school games, which I like. But I preferred Virtual Console where I could buy my own. You know, you give me
Yeah,
a list of games that I possibly could want, on the Switch, and I could just buy them individually.
yeah.
Instead,
And actually,
they think that, we're giving you free games here, but
not
most of them are not even
necessarily.
worth it.
Yeah, honestly, like if they were to create like about if they were to bring extra games over that are worth my time, I might be interested. But honestly, I've stayed away from a lot of from the online type of gaming for the Switch. Honestly, I'd
Yep.
rather stick with Steam
And then
or
they
play
want to
offline.
charge, and then
Obviously,
they want to charge you $50 and $80 for an expansion on the online service. So now they have an
you
expansion
know,
for an online service that ain't even worth
I
it.
pay. I have to pay another $100 for an online service that you can't even use. Like I can't even play Smash Bros on there, and I had online for 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, and the expansion pass, it's for individual it's $50, and then you have the family package, which is $80. 80 fucking
Which I think
dollars.
80 fucking bucks for 5 people.
I mean that
Like,
if you were rich, that doesn't sound bad, but if you're fucking poor
no,
like me,
if
no.
you're poor, then that's bad. If you're like by yourself, living by yourself, don't get it. Don't get online. But say for example, I know a couple guys back when Nintendo Online first started, for example, that you could play for free and test out the online service, which I've done. I've done that before. But there's also a couple friends of mine have ended up like staying together and actually paid for a part of the online service.
Yeah,
So they
35
would buy like a
bucks.
family pack and they would pay 35 or 25 for the service,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to do that way. Have someone else pay it for you.
And considering the fact that where I'm currently, there's two other people that have Switches, and I'm probably gonna like get online with them at some point. But as of now, probably not. I'll probably just stick with Steam.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm probably gonna like
and
buy a couple
this
games.
this this is something I wanted to talk about actually is, people have been telling me that they actually fixed the N64 emulator, which I did see screenshots of Ocarina of Time, you know,
Mm.
and it does look a lot better, which I think a lot of it has to do with the emulation, what type of emulator they're using, because, like in the original Ocarina of Time on the N64, there's fog and everything in the water temple room where you face Shadow Link. Uh,
Yeah,
but in the Switch version, I'll just call it the Switch version. Uh, for some reason, it doesn't render textures properly at first. It didn't render textures properly. There was no fog. Like you could see the fucking corners of the room. Like you could see them sticking out. Like that's how bad it was. That's how bad the emulation.
yeah.
And Mario Kart wouldn't even like you have to have I think a memory pack
Mm-hmm.
in order to be able to save or anything. So it's obvious they're using something that they made, like the emulator that they made. Like it's N64 emulator. I mean, it's the same. It's the same emulator that they used for the Mario 3D All Stars collection,
Yep.
but it's not worth $50. That's why I told you earlier. I'm glad that I have an N64 emulator. It's not the best.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but you know what? I'll fucking gladly take that. It's free and I can play any game I want. Until Nintendo gets their shit together and makes something better, I'm not giving them $50 for a service that's worthless.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll give you my 20
Because
bucks
consider
and
the
that's all you get.
I'm giving you my 20. That's about it, really. But consider the fact that I'm already spending over 200 bucks already on games.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
that's mainly what I wanted to talk about was, the Nintendo, like the modern stuff. In terms of modern stuff, I just wanted to talk about some of those things. But let's get into some old school stuff. Like here recently, I've been playing Ninja Gaiden.
Ooh, classic Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah,
Ooh,
classic
good pick.
Ninja Gaiden. And I believe I've already beaten 3, which is the
If
hardest
we're talking
one.
about classic, if we're talking about like really, really classic games, Sega Saturn,
Yeah.
PlayStation 2, like Sega Saturn in particular, Knights. Knights is a really good classic. I love that game. Knights is pretty fun, but it's really hard to master because it's a really freaking hard game. It's difficult, very difficult game. Another really great game that I really do like in terms of like retro type of games is classic Game Boy. Um,
Oh,
Obviously,
speaking of
Sacred.
classic Game Boy, Kirby.
Yeah, classic Game Boy.
Yeah, Kirby.
Yeah,
Kirby's celebrating
Kirby.
30th anniversary. It's coming
Kirby.
up. Big
But
30. Big 3-0.
Big 30. But also, um, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones was the first Fire Emblem game I've technically played on the Game Boy, and it did release on the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. But I really do love Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. It's a great game, fucking amazing. It's awesome, and it's really dark for an E10 game. Very dark. Like it's messed up. Like when you play through the game on like an emulator as of now, like some of the translation of that game is different because they're using a Japanese translation. But if you're playing the original Fire Emblem Sacred Stone that is
Oh,
on the Game Boy, there is some really messed up stuff in that game that's left untouched by Nintendo.
wow.
Yeah, like zombies,
Well,
lot of yabe stuff.
zombies have always been like a common enemy in like D&D and stuff like that.
D&D and other stuff, but it's not like the type of zombie. It's more of like the cultist type of zombies,
Oh,
of resurrection and demons and that type of stuff. But in one of the supports, I think for Tana and Erica, if you play on Erica's side, Tana explains a lot of her family abuse and a lot of the corruption that's been going around in her country, in her area, instead of Erica, which Erica comes from a very powerful family that was later taken down by a group of bandits. And it gets messed up. It gets really messed up. I've played through that game hundreds of times, and I'll tell you what, it's probably one of the darkest early games I've ever played.
hmm. I'll have to check it
Very
out.
dark.
I'll have to check it out because I got a whole
Check it
bunch
out.
of Game Boy games. Uh, I've
Check out
also
Sacred
I've
Stones.
also played, I've also been playing DuckTales on the Game Boy. It's basically like a lot
DuckTales.
of like the thing with the Game Boy library. I mean, there's a lot of good original titles, which I'll talk about that here in a second. But
And there's a lot
DuckTales,
of 3D.
yeah, there's a lot of
There's a lot
other
of other
there's a
third
lot of
party.
other titles that are just watered down versions of the NES version,
Yeah.
like
And especially
DuckTales.
with Game Boy.
I mean, they're
Game
good
Boy in particular
games.
is a
They're
lot.
good games. It's just they're watered down.
Yeah.
They're not as good
Also
as the
Mega Man.
NES. Yeah, Mega Man.
Mega
Well,
Man.
I liked
Love
I
Mega
liked
Man.
Mega Man 4, I believe.
Yeah, Mega Man 4.
Yeah, that one
That
was
one's a really good one.
yeah, that one's the only original one I could think of in terms of Mega Man.
Battle. If you're looking for good Mega Man games for Game Boy, Battle Network is really good for Game Boy.
That's Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance, yeah. But it's still considered Game Boy because it's the advanced
I
version of
don't
the
know
Game Boy,
why
but it's
people
still
hate
great.
Battle Network. I love Battle Network. It's one of my
Battle
favorite.
Network's fun.
It's one of my favorite art. It's basically a. It's like a tile based RPG strategy game. Like
Yeah,
the battle
it
system is
uses
tile
it
based.
uses the 3v3 tile base, but in Mega Man Star Force, which is for the DS, not for Game Boy, they upgraded that, and I actually still have all three copies of Mega Man Star Force.
I haven't played
Still my
that.
favorite Mega Man games of all time. Still my favorite. I love it. I love it.
But
I love those
one of my
games.
favorite Game Boy games of all time is the Gargoyles Quest games. Like I
Ooh,
love Gargoyles Quest,
that's a
the
solid one.
first one on the Game Boy, and then Gargoyles Quest 2 and Demon's Crest on the Super Nintendo.
Oh man.
Yeah, Gargoyles Quest 2 is on the NES. Demon's Crest is on the Super Nintendo. I don't know why they changed it to Demon's Crest.
I don't know why. They probably I don't know. They probably changed it for regional purposes
Which
only.
that's
Kind of like
supposed
what
to be.
happened.
That's supposed. Demon's Crest is actually supposed to be the origin of Firebrand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's supposed to
they,
be because I think it's either supposed to be a origin story. Well, no wait, no, not Demon's Crest. Gargoyles Quest 2 is supposed to be the origin because in the first game, you remember where they explained that Firebrand defeated the Gargoyle
yeah.
King or something, and basically he became Overlord or King.
Yeah, he pretty much became a king, obviously.
And that's what the second game is. That's the second game, not Demon's Crest. I'm sorry, I've played Demon's Crest, which honestly
Spider-Man
I don't think Demon's
PlayStation
Crest
1.
is. I mean, Demon's Crest has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I mean, it has some.
Spider-Man PS1.
Yeah, Spider-Man. My friend
Spider-Man
Justin, my
PS1.
friend Justin Finity. By the way, this is a plug for him. He did a review of Spider-Man for the PS1.
Oh, I love Spider-Man PS1.
I mean,
it's
he
such a
he told
strip
me that he
poker.
was gonna do another Spider-Man marathon, so I'm looking forward to the other games. Hope
Ooh, if he ever gets a chance to play Webs of Shadows and Edge of Time or Shattered Dimensions, please. Oh my
he
god,
reviewed
love
I
Web.
think he reviewed Shattered Dimensions.
He needs to review Webs of Shadows next, dude.
Yeah,
That I love that game.
yeah,
I
but
actually still have my
you
copy.
need to go check out Justin Infinity. He does Spider-Man games. He talked about Spider-Man PS4, which is very long. It's about 40 something minutes long, and he also reviewed uh, the Shield Heroes. He did like an
Ooh,
hour long analysis and review of the series. It's really
yeah,
good. It's a really
it's good. I
good
love.
review.
I I did play through all of Spider-Man PS4 and all of Miles Morales a few years ago actually. So not Miles Morales. I did that. I beat that really recently, but I did beat Spider-Man PS4 a couple years ago when that first came out. I
Yeah.
still have my copy, but as of recently, I did beat through. I am currently working through Persona 5 Royal right now because I
Yep.
haven't gotten the chance to play that yet because I've been waiting for
I've already
other games
beaten
to come out and buy them.
it.
But I've been playing through Royal. I have the original Persona 5. I played through that. I already played through Shin Megami Tensei and Devil Survivor. I played through all of that as well. But I'm still waiting on Dying Light 2 to drop and Arceus to drop, which this game has already got me intrigued already. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
so
But I mean, I've been playing. Let's see. Right now, I'm playing Balan Wonder World because I've heard a lot of negative things about it. And I want to give it a chance. I plan on doing a video about it. But I also am playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Master.
yes, Duel Master.
Let's
I
get
love
into
Duel
this
Master.
discussion right here, like about Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean,
Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Love
it's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know people have probably heard of the anime, and have played the card game. I chose that I was an expert, which I'm really not, but I just
You're
want
really not, honestly.
I'm really not an expert at Yu-Gi-Oh because I haven't played like the game ever since I think 2006 was when I stopped playing.
about around the time of around the
2006 or
mid GX
2007.
early, not early 5Ds, not early 5Ds was 2008.
5Ds
Around the time of
introduced synchro
GX.
summons, I think. Yeah, that's when I stopped playing. Was when they introduced pendulum summons. I stopped watching the anime around
Pendulum
that
Summon was
time.
2016. 2016, 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I just stopped caring about it then.
So for me, I started around the time of GX, and I started with fusion summoning, and I did get really good at fusion summoning. But when I got into synchros, that's when I really started to pop off because I got really good at synchros. I
Yeah,
was the man. I was the man.
in the game, right?
And
Yeah, like the game,
in
it
the
does explain to you everything. So I mean, I will say it does a good job of explaining.
Master Duel is a great start when it comes to online dueling in particular. There's other good alternatives.
Dueling
If you
Nexus.
if Dueling Nexus actually had a first name back in 2006. Actually, it was called Dueling Network,
Yep.
but it got taken down by Konami because they didn't want free dueling. They wanted them to advertise their cards, and Dueling Network got shut down because of copyright. So they went and rebranded as a new name as Dueling Nexus. There's also other really free sites that you can use. You can use Yugi Pro. That also really works as well. I think that's also a really good start as well. But I think Master Duel is probably the definitive version of Dueling
Or
Nexus
Duel
and
Links.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Obviously, Dueling Links is like very similar to that of Rush Dueling, but it does have that early 2008 synchro summoning mechanic type of thing, which I can agree I had a lot of fun with, but it just got bad.
Yeah, because I made it all the way to platinum like in no time.
And considering that there's a really good YouTuber out there who makes a lot of Duel Link shit posts, I love his channel. I fucking love it. It's so meme worthy because there's a lot of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh that are busted as hell, and he's using cards that break the game ever since like 2009.
Damn.
Like the earliest OTK that I've known that was there was like the earliest of OTKs that I do know existed around that time when Dueling Links first came out was the Scrap Fist OTK, and it uses obviously Junk Warrior and Scrap and the spell card known as Scrap Fist, and it's a very powerful spell card. I'm gonna read it off because I actually have the card in my hand right now. I actually own it because I did end up buying a bunch of singles recently, so I'm gonna read it out. So Scrap Fist targets one Junk Warrior, and the whole purpose of this card is you can activate any of these effects. It applies if it battles a monster this turn, you can apply these effects. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. If it attacks the defending opponent monster, inflict piercing damage by the damage to your opponent. It also doubles any battle damage your opponent takes. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and it can destroy the monster that it battled at the end of the damage step. So it is busted alongside another card known as this card alongside Rush Warrior, which you can send this card to the graveyard to double the damage of any warrior type monster.
Damn.
So pretty much you can obliterate your opponent in one or two turns with these two cards. It is busted. I've seen some OTKs in my life before, like the live stream one, where you could just continuously gain health until they surrender, or there was another OTK that appeared back in 2016 that I'm trying to remember right now that was really busted. Um, there's a Sky Striker OTK that was really rampant very recently until they got fucking deleted
Yeah.
off the existence, which I fucking hate Sky Strikers. And there's any other deck I hate more than Sky Strikers, it's Elemental Heroes, because there's an OTK with E Heroes as well. There's 6 OTKs with Elemental Heroes that have been in use ever since Stratos got off the ban list. Those OTKs came back, and oh my god, I'm terrified.
I don't blame you.
And
It's bullshit.
I'm a Synchron player. If E Heroes scare a Synchron player, then it should scare you too.
Now,
I'll be honest about that.
my deck is a super heavy armor samurai deck, which
Ooh, samurais.
Yeah, I love the samurai decks.
Love samurai decks.
And
Those are
the
fun.
reason why I love this deck so much is because of all the synchro combinations you can pull off.
Oh yeah.
And not just that, you also have cards that can increase your monster's defense, which that's the point of Super Heavy Armor Samurai is the fact that you can attack in defense mode instead of attack
Yeah.
mode. and
Yeah.
and not just that, it's mainly the special effects. Like for example, Ogre, super
Ogre.
heavy
Yeah.
armor Ogre. He can destroy all face down cards that's on your opponent's side of the field, like his face down traps and
As
spells
long as you're as
and
long as they
side
don't have a
cards.
ghost ballet or effect failure or any of the other hand traps for modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, then you're gonna be fine. As long as they're not playing specific types of decks that counter your counter Six Samurai, like
Or if
Speedroids are also very terrifying to play against because their combo base is even higher than
and
Synchro.
plus you have Stardust Dragon, which basically negates all special effects.
No, Crystal Wing is what you got to be afraid of.
Crystal Wing. I'm sorry.
Crystal Wing is the one that you should be afraid of because
Sorry.
Crystal Wing has a very similar to that of Odd Eyes Raging Dragon, which Odd Eyes Raging Dragon is a whole another OTK that I'm not even going to go into because that card is super busted. But Crystal Wing can negate any effect of any level 8 or higher monster, and it gains the attack points of that monster. And if it battles a level 8 or higher monster, it gains the attack points of that monster. So, very powerful boss monster for Speedroids in any other Synchro deck. I'll be honest about that. But Odd Eyes Raging Dragon is another card that you should be terrified of, because once it gets on the field, say goodbye to everything that's on the field except for that card. It's literally a Gandora X, but on steroids. Like, I'm gonna say this to you right now, but that card is terrifying to play against, and I'll be honest with you, getting it out is super difficult. But when you pendulum summon and you get your Xyz monsters out in the field, it's really easy.
Oh damn.
But it's terrifying to play against because it gains 500 attack points for every card destroyed on the field, and it can attack twice that turn.
Yeah, I mean
So
it's the same with when you equip the there's a card in the samurai deck which allows you to attack twice when you equip
attack
it.
twice, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's super heavy armor. I can't even think of the name of it now. Uh,
It's just Six Samurais are
I
really
think it's
long,
Soul
honestly.
Horns. It might be Soul Horns.
Yeah,
Super heavy armor Soul Horns allows you to attack twice. I think that's the name of the card. Gosh, I mean,
and
I'm trying to get used to the new cards because I've not played Yu-Gi-Oh in such a long time, but Duel Masters and Duel Links actually got me back into it.
yeah, and honestly, like recently, I've been first obviously if you're looking for a deck to play with, obviously. I know a really good deck that I think you might like if you're planning on using synchros. So, of course, you know about Red Dragon Archfiend, but there's Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, which was another card that was added to Red Dragon Archfiend around the time of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And this card acts the same thing as Red Dragon Archfiend, but it can apply to any Red Dragon monster in the deck, and it significantly boosted Red Dragon Archfiend's play potential. So you can go for Red Nova Dragon, you can go for Red Dragon Archfiend, like or Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, or even, by the way, the level 12 Red Dragon Archfiend for the manga, far superior than now. Still really good 4,000 attack beat stick with a really good effect as well, which again I think is fucking fantastic. But I think Red Dragon Archfiend might be a good pick for you if you're looking to play a lot of synchro monsters. There's a lot of good play potential with that deck, and I think it's scary.
So yeah, that's why I have Win on this podcast. He's smart.
Yeah, I play a lot of I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I play a lot of card games. I play a lot of video games, so I used to play a lot of esports and competitive games, so I used to play a lot back in the day.
But
I
yeah,
won 2 Call of Duty Black Ops 2 tournaments, and I've won one Yu-Gi-Oh tournament in my area, but I haven't gone to nationals yet.
Yeah, and I heard that the rules are different in nationals.
Rules are they are very skeptical when you reach nationals. Locals, they don't really notice it because they just look at your deck and they're like, okay, you don't have any printed cards, you don't have any marked cards, you're not
You
cheating.
ain't got no
Okay, you're good to play.
bootlegs.
And you need an account in order to play also for tournaments also. You need an actual Konami account so you can get into tournaments and actually pay to play in them.
Hmm.
Because Konami is tracking down on people that play on nationals or locals, for example. They're trying to track down as much because of some of the scandals that have been happening over the past few years of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Damn.
They've upped their game when it comes to looking for cheaters, and they've gotten good. They've gotten really good. During my first time playing against a dude that was cheating, I was playing. I think I was playing Altergeist. The other guy was playing. I think he was playing. I'm not sure what he was playing, but I was pretty sure it was either a Link deck or Boiler Dragon deck or Rocket deck, I think. But he was found out for cheating at locals, and he was booted out. So, so they pretty much they mark you off, and if you're caught cheating, they put a ban on your account,
Yeah, you
and
can't enter
it restricts.
tournaments or anything.
You can't enter tournaments, you can't enter any of that, and the ban is uplifted. I think it's a yearly wait. I think for you to reapply. I think. I'm not sure. But if you get caught cheating at nationals, ooh baby, you're gonna get fucking deleted.
Yeah.
You're gonna get booted.
Yep, you'll be
They are
banned.
they are man, they will deck you in the face.
Yeah, they'll cancel you.
They will deck you in the
That's
face.
the
They will
real
say, do
cancel
not
culture.
come back
But
here until you
and
fix your deck.
I mean, and here's the thing: I'm not against cancel culture, but when someone's doing something that they're not supposed to, then I think that banning them from competing for like a year or so, I think that's a good punishment to get rid of cheaters.
The longest year I've seen someone being banned for competitive wise or just in general just offending Konami because that has happened. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber who expressed buying singles over buying sealed packs, and there was a drama where this YouTuber couldn't attend actual tournaments because of his opinion of buying singles over buying sealed products. Which, if you don't know about the card game industry, there's a lot of shit with scaling and a lot of really like if you're buying it from like sealed retailers, how they would scale the products and see which cards have the hollows and which of them don't have the hollows, for example. They will do that just so the people that are buying the packs individually don't get the cards that they want. And that has happened to me before.
Yeah.
I went to Walmart to find Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the recent Synchro Storm. I only found 3 packs of 2 packs each, by the way, and I've opened 6 of them. Got nothing from them.
Damn.
So there's a big stickler with buying sealed product over actually buying singles. Which again, singles can get really expensive. Some of them can't get that really expensive. So it really depends on what you're looking for, really. I see the best way to get the cards that you want in particular over buying singles or buying sealed product, for example, is going to a locals and trading for the cards that you want instead of actually like buying them or selling them.
Yeah. Obviously. But
That's probably the best way to get
yeah.
the cards that you want.
Oh yeah.
And currently, I'm building my Speedway deck in real life, and I'm currently rebuilding my Altergeist deck and some of the other decks I have currently. And I've already built my Dark Magician deck. I've already built my Blue Eyes deck. I'm currently working on making my Speedway deck because I'll be playing Speedroids for nationals. So
And I hope you do
yeah,
good. I really do.
yeah, I'm trying my best right now. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on my Speedway deck. It
All
might be a
right.
little while.
So, I mean, it looks like we've reached our time here
Our
because
peak.
we've talked over an hour. Plenty more discussions coming. Hopefully, like I said, just be sure to like this video and share it around because I want to do more of this. I really do. But like I said, I'm trying to build this into a thing, and hopefully, you, my audience, my viewers, will be grateful enough to, share the video around and, you know, see what feedback we can get. And yeah, if you have any suggestions on things to talk about, leave a comment or, message one of us. I mean, I'll have
Yeah.
Win here. He's gonna plug his Twitter account. I'm
Yep.
gonna go ahead and let you do that.
Yeah. Actually, I'll put it's. My Twitter account is at Winfrix, so WinFRFX. So that is my Twitter account.
Which
It's my
I'll have
official
it in
Twitter
the
account.
description as well. So
And I also have a YouTube channel where I post videos of me playing video games and random stuff. I talk about many different things. You'll see me post videos from here and there. I won't post that often, but I will occasionally do post some videos, obviously. But at some point, I'll probably upload more videos, probably for the future. Maybe probably it really depends. Really, I also do a lot of card game stuff on that channel. A few months ago, I did a card review over Satellite Warrior for Synchrons, so feel free to check that out. Also, it's a really solid video. I think it's, I think I did a really good job of that video, honestly.
So I mean I appreciate you doing this with me. I mean
I mean, you're welcome, man. Like,
I've wanted to do a
I
podcast
had
for
a
a very long time, and I just want this to be successful. And I enjoy doing discussion videos with anybody. I mean right now I just want to keep it to two people for the time being
yeah.
until we can set things up for maybe a three-person discussion, whatever. We might have guests on here. We might do interviews with some creators, other creators and stuff.
I think I think there might be actually some really good people to actually interview as well. Uh, the voice actress of Pyra Mithra did a few interviews very recently. So if you want, you can probably reach out to Sky and see if she's able to do a podcast.
Oh yeah, but I
So
mean, expect more to come from this. I mean, like I want to take this as seriously as I can, and I want to build it up into something. So like I said, leaving likes and, just tuning in, it means a lot. It really does. I mean, someone actually suggested me to make a Patreon for this, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Uh, but yeah, this was the first episode of the Crow's Nest Gaming Podcast. This has been PC, and you know,
win.
Win. This has been PC and Win signing out, and we'll see you all in the next episode, hopefully.
Take care.